BMW S1000RR. This is what, you know, is everyone's kind of dream track bike at the moment. Nearly 200 horsepower, traction control, everything you could want for riding around a track fast. But is it?
It is, unless you're 15, 16 years old. Maybe you're riding a 50cc scooter. Maybe you're thinking about getting that first kind of geared bike, making that step from push bike to scooter to proper road bike. I think something like this is great, but for those guys, it's kind of stuck on the wall, isn't it? It's so hard to get to this 200 horsepower thing because it costs loads of money. The licensing thing in the UK at the minute is, in my opinion, it's so tough to get to a proper bike that some people are just giving up before it even gets tough, and it's really hard to get to something like this.
So you need somewhere between the ultimate, this is your Ferrari, you need your Vauxhall Corsa, you need your mid-range bike, and we're just kind of starting to see them now again. There was a bit of a lull for a long time in sort of lower middleweight capacity bikes, and now we're seeing, you know, KTM bought out the Duke 390, they've just launched the RC 390 sports bike, Kawasaki got the Ninja 300, and there's these few bikes kind of creeping in that mid-capacity classes. I'll put money on that we're going to see them from Yamaha, probably Honda as well before long. They're gonna come.
So the great thing about having bikes like the Ninja 300 and the RC 390 is that we're starting to see these one-make challenges creep into programs like the British Superbike Championship, where we can watch Shaky and Josh Brooks and all the guys riding the big bikes around. But at the other end of the timetable, you've got things like Ninja 300 Challenge and the RC 390 Cup, which we're going to see in BSB, I think, in 2015.
I think that's the plan, yeah. Yeah, definitely, and it's a stepping stone. I mean, in pure race terms, you know, you start out on your little budget 125 production bikes, like the Aprilia RS 125, the Super Teens, is a championship that's been running for years. Casey Stoner, some bloke who came out of that, he's pretty quick. Chaz Davies, Danny Kent, Bradley Smith.
Did you beat Casey Stoner once?
I never beat Casey Stoner. I would definitely have a t-shirt saying that if I had.
Did you overtake him?
Never. I rode on the same track that he set a lap record round. Does that count? I'm taking that. Bosh. No, so there's these little series that come through, and there's always kind of been like this step from the entry point into 600s. And a 600cc sports bike these days is 130 brake horsepower.
Yeah, and more importantly, aside from the power, which is one aspect of it, it just seems to be the price. When you're telling me about the racing that you used to do, the amount of money that you seem to tip into tyres, engine refreshes, all that kind of stuff.
That's why I can't afford a haircut. Get in before you do.
You threw me. You nailed me.
In terms of, you know, people who are maybe in their 20s and are looking at getting a sports bike for track days, there's so much temptation to leap straight to these, and we've done loads of stuff in the magazine saying about 600s, 750s, which is the best thing, and actually you really can't beat a bit of time served on a 40 horsepower or less bike, because there's nothing that teaches you how to get through a corner quicker than a slow bike. These things, you know, if you get into a corner slow on one of these, it does not matter. You can go in whatever speed you like. By the time you're at the apex, especially with the traction control on the BMW, you just pin the throttle and the thing fires itself out. You don't need to be good, you just need to trust the traction. That's this guy.
But what we do have today is an RC 390 Cup bike, which we're hoping is going to be part of the support series for BSB in 2015. We're also lucky enough to have Steve Jordan's lovely Kawasaki Z300 Ninja Cup bike. So we're going to go out and take a look at the bikes and talk later.
Pow. I've just been out for another run on the Ninja. Steve's made some changes to the setup. Had a little rebound damping on the rear. Nope, taking rebound damping off the rear. And had a bit of preload to support the shock. It feels a lot better. It kind of highlights one of these things with these lightweight bikes is, you know, a bit of change on the suspension. Make a huge difference to how the way the bike feels and handles.
So just jumped off that 390. That's awesome. It's like, feels like a little mini GP bike. It's real taut, and definitely compared to the Kawasaki, the chassis feels a lot more taut, a lot less movement. Like, you don't feel like you're wobbling around all the time. The motor's different too. The engine being a single cylinder on this, it's got a bit more low end. Kawasaki's twin is a little bit more revvy. So this on the corners where you haven't quite got the gear perfect for the track, you can drive out from the mid-range and it pulls off the bend a bit quicker. But yeah, fabulous fun. Upsetting people on big bikes.
Okay, Superbike top trumps on the Ninja 300 and the KTM RC 390. Who gets to go first? Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go first then. Right, power.
38 bhp.
37. 1-0. 1-0 to the KTM.
Price on the grid going racing.
7 grand.
You win. I'm 7.5-ish.
Weight. What's the weight?
I think with this one, it looks like the series is going to run 134 at any time. Anytime they choose to weigh the bike.
Wet?
Some wet.
Some wet?
Not fully wet. Semi-wet.
I'm on 142.
Or fully wet.
Fully wet.
How big's the fuel tank on this?
Wait, what's better, more weight or less weight? Surely more weight's better. Because then you can push people out of the way with it. No?
I'm going to say less weight is good.
2-1. 2-1. You're cool.
Top speed.
Top speed, 125 miles an hour.
I think you would probably just pip this.
Just?
By 4 miles an hour.
Got this.
So forks. I've got upside down Red Bull rookie spec forks. What you got?
Give me 5 minutes and I can have upside down forks. So I'm calling the same on internals, but you have got upside down forks.
Okay.
What's that, 4-3?
It can be.
Got then Lux. Lux has got to be the next one.
Baby Tom Sykes.
It's a baby Tom Sykes, but
this is a baby RC8.
I hate to admit it, but I'm on the KTM. I think it looks better. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person, Kawasaki, but I do think the KTM looks better. What a day. What? How good was that?
Best day ever.
Best day of work ever.
I don't know if people at home will realise that I don't race. I don't have the same background as you. I'm a road rider. I'm a track day rider, fast group track day guy. I found with the KTM, it felt more like a road bike that I was used to.
How did you find you adapted? Because obviously that's the big thing with these is that it's all about corner speed. I mean,
yeah, it's loads of fun.
Do you think you got something to take out of it?
Yeah. See, you know, when you're seeing bikes like these going past now, and you've got S1000 RRs gapping you down the straight, and then you're reeling them in on the way down Paddock Hill Bend. That's a brilliant feeling. I love that. But what I struggled with was the areas where normally a big power bike with traction control would glaze over the cracks of my riding skill. There was nowhere to hide on this thing. So when you're getting it a gear wrong on these, or you're touching the brakes a tiny bit too early, or you're carrying a little bit too much gas, it just shows it all straight away.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
you know, there's definitely nowhere to hide on these things. There is sometimes somewhere to hide when there's a truck going past, and then you have to carry on.
And no one ended up in that.
Yeah.
That's a win. That's a win every day.
So what about you? Pick a bike. How was your day?
Anything from a 600 upwards these days, a quick lap time is about corner exit pretty much.
Yeah.
There's elements everywhere that everyone's riding to improve, but all your work in the corner is always to ensure a good exit, so you get drive onto the straight. So for me, it always feels like you're compromising the bit we enjoy, the going through the corner, to try and get faster out the corner. Whereas with these, there's none of that. It's how fast can you go around that corner
from start to finish
with your knee on the floor, bouncing over the curves, and it's kind of, I want to sound like a douchebag now, but it's a bit pure.
What now?
Like, yeah, always. It's kind of pure.
Yeah,
just
it's a very, very pure
railing through the corner. So I loved it for that. Both bikes, because of the championships they run in, they're on road legal tyres.
Yeah.
So we're talking, you know, not super sport rubber, we're talking quite hard compound tyres. So for me, I was kind of wanting a bit more grip.
Yeah.
I want that real big lean angle.
Yeah,
so that frustrated me. But aside from that, it was fantastic. The KTM had a bit more mid-range, drove off the corners better. The Ninja, you know, had a bit more rev range, longer revs because it's a twin.
Yeah. So, full day on the bikes. Pick one.
No, you pick one.
All right, I'll pick both. I'll start Kawasaki on the wall, KTM on the road. I love the look of the Kawasaki. I love everything about it. It makes me imagine that if I was 17, I'd think I was Tom Sykes every time I got out of the garage.
I can see that. I'm gonna rub my microphone with my hand. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I would definitely go with the KTM Chassis and Styling, because I'm a child and I like youthful, edgy styling. I'm not a child, if only. And I'm gonna go with the motor from the Kawasaki.
Yeah.
The KTM had the punch, but the Kawasaki just had that spread that when you've not got a lot of power, it's nice not to be hitting the limiter all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.